It has 3 different reverbs, and it has 3 different tremolos, and I guess that's it. Thanks for stopping by, guys. What? That's not a review, that's an apology. Johnny, roll the tape. Okay, I'm calm right now. I'm calm. I can be calm. I'm a calm guy. Once you get to know me, all my friends say, Alex, you sure one calm guy. Always in control. You know that Alex, steady hand Alex. You want him working at your company. I'm gonna do a review about the Flint. I'm not gonna hold it up anymore. I feel like that's disrespectful. This pedal, when it initially came out, everyone was like, oh, reverb and tremolo, that's cool. But they had barely scratched the surface of what it is. Again, and I think most tools are like this for an artist, right? You dive in a little bit and you I don't really know. I want to buy the next thing. This pedal, yes, it's reverb. Yes, it's tremolo. That's fine. But I feel like that does a disservice. Like this plate setting, right? Let's just dive right in. And when you have decay at maximum, it's essentially an infinite hold. And when you do something like this, man, cool, right? So it's like, yeah, like it can create long reverb. So what does that really mean though as an artist? It's like, wow, like now you essentially have like a pad synthesizer. If you're artful with your volume knob and you kind of try different things, you can find a lot of interesting ways to write, right? And that's cool. So each of these little knobs here represents a decade. 60s is a spring reverb, right? And this is helpful for me. One, if you're running an Iridium right now, like I am, it's good to throw a reverb after it to give it some depth. It's just easier for me to play the reverb. Some guys love playing dry. I'm not a dry guy. I need some wet reverb, that is. The other thing is that my amp, my only amp, my Fender Blues Junior reverb tank broke on it a long time ago, and I've never gotten it fixed because I'm lazy. So I just bought this. This is a drive with a little breakup. Cool, but let's give it a little more oomph, right? Put a lot in the mix, a lot in the decay. Right? If you're doing any kind of like cool country stuff, And now one of the settings they have on their manual. Who reads manuals? Ask my wife. You know I do. This is called Tweed Surf. Yeah. It sounds like a tweed and it feels like I'm surfing. Actually, probably Tweed Surf would be like 6 chords, right? Right? Reverb. What does it do? What is it? Where does it come from? Reverb is an interesting thing, right? It's usually associated with like shoegazer stuff and 80s guitars, right? But really, it creates an emotion. Just like that last video. And everyone probably thinks I'm crazy, but like certain tools create an emotion in art. And that's why guitar pedals are cool. That's why music is cool. The vibe that I get when I put reverb on a track, it makes me want to write stuff that has emotion and drama, right? It creates drama. And I wonder why that is. There must be some biological aspect to that. Because the idea of reverb is that you're in a cave or you're in somewhere wide open. You're in something big, right? That's what reverb is. So if we were early hominids and we were in a cave, it was something big. It was probably a big deal. Probably meant something important, right? So the psychological aspect of that is like what you're playing is being played back to you. So it's almost like a little Nietzsche box, right? Gazing into the abyss. I don't know. But it does create an emotion. You can't deny me that. And so that opening track, right? I wanted like a Top Gun solo because I just saw it and it was great. And I wanted like to create this cool reverb. I even threw it on the synth, right? So I threw some reverb on that synth. Throw some reverb on all the guitars. And it creates this kind of nostalgic energy, right? When it's given to those kinds of instruments. Let me just talk to you real quick about the 60s harmonic vibe, right? So this harmonic vibe, it's kind of like a univibe, which is crazy because you wouldn't expect that out of a tremolo pedal. And that's why I think this thing is so versatile and creates so many cool ideas. Right? I mean, this is with it off, so this is with it on. Like, who needs a univibe? Who needs like $3,000 for like an original univibe? Not me. I mean, I need that, but I don't have it. Here's a song I wrote using the harmonic tremolo. Harmonic band filtering. Okay, like I have no idea what that means. But I know what it sounds like, and that sounds like this. Gives that vintage vibe, right? I think it's a cool song, and it gives you that vibe. I mean, you can do a pretty convincing Jimmy. And imagine if I had an expression pedal. It'd be very expressive. So the differences between the reverbs are actually kind of interesting because they all take different parts of like the signal and amplify it in different ways. Obviously the tube you can almost hear that metallic sound in the tube, right? So I'm gonna have the mix way higher than normal. Right, you can hear that ringing. They did a good job modeling that. So on the spring reverb, quick decay, right? It feels like it doesn't really want to stay around that long, and it only grabs a little bit of your signal and it pushes in a bunch of like the springing, right? You're hearing the spring as much as your signal. On the plate, cool. Like a really dense reverb. Almost right away. It's like just like sitting on top of you, right? Cool. And now the 80s reverb. I love this reverb. You're in full-on Bryan Adams mode, right? Feels 80s, right? I think the 80s that like it's an early quick reflection, then it's like a slow build after that. So you can hear a lot more of the guitar. And then that play when I feel like kind of crowds you right away, which is cool, but this one, it feels just really wide, feels really cool. I'm not recording this in stereo, but you get the point. Very cool. I love the 80s reverb. And the 80s as well can do the infinite thing. Right? You can imagine that, taking that, recording that, sampling it, and like doing another. Right? Recording these, having it fill out, building it like your own little personal synth out of these noises, right? There's a lot of cool ways you can do it. I mean, put me on music bed already. Like, I'm like practically there. I use the 80s hall reverb on this track, and I tried to create this just like really intense, dramatic song with like not very many notes. So I have two guitars. The rhythm guitar is like this, almost sounds like a piano the way I was trying to play it. And then the lead guitar is just these bends. And the reverb does the rest for the song. The bass, obviously bass and drums is pushing it along, but the guitars are hardly doing any rhythm work. And you can see how you can use it as a much more expressive instrument because of this insanely cool reverb. Trick that this thing does, when you hold down both, it does reverb into tremolo or tremolo into reverb. So you can use the tremolo as a filter, right? So since the reverb is infinite, it's pushing infinitely through this tremolo. Cool, right? Now, the only thing you got to be worried about is overloading the signal, because when you have this many delays just, feeding off each other, it can amplify your signal significantly. So if you're playing live, just be aware, get your foot over that volume pedal, because you might be blasting out the mixer, the front of the house mix. Cool, right? I mean, like that's an Oasis song, isn't it? For this next song, I used this concept on the tube tremolo. There was no way for me to know what tempo it was. So I do find a tempo I liked and then try to match it in Logic and then go back and re-record it anyway. And I almost got it for both guitar parts. What's crazy is that I couldn't recreate it once I did it once. So you'll hear it in this song, right? It creates like the Who like synth thing from Won't Get Fooled Again almost. It's like this, like ticka 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 ticka. Anyway, here it is. Okay, so I went a little overboard there. I'm not gonna apologize though, right? I'm free to do what I want, when I want, and play what I want, and write how I want, when I want to, at any time of the day, unless my kids are sleeping, or my wife is sleeping, plane passing by, or the garage door opens. Okay, so I have some rules, okay? But not your rules, all right? These are my rules. That's the difference. I feel like I've covered everything. I'm not gonna go through all the settings. There's all these different demos about settings, right? And I'm not here to talk about settings. I'm here to talk about the cool things that you can write when you have a tool like this. Okay, this is the tube biased tremolo, middle setting. Cool. Let's pick another fun preset. This is called the rumble setting. So another cool sound, another cool preset, another cool pedal from another cool company. I think they're cool, right? Strymon, it's a cool name. The logos are cool. The branding is cool. But the coolest thing for me is that it allows me to write something new, right? It allows me to come up with a new idea. Something I can create. Something that I can call my own. So who needs this pedal? I did. You probably do. Most guitar players need some sort of reverb pedal just in case. So who doesn't need this pedal? Someone who has too many pedals. Someone whose wife said, don't order another pedal. Someone whose wife who said, if you order another pedal, you're gone. You're out of here. And then you still went click and you bought it. And the pedal came when your wife was home and she opened it up. And then when you came home from work, all your stuff was on the side of the road. So now you're on the street playing Wonderwall for random tourists for 25 cents. But no one has money anymore. It's all digital. So they say, hey, what's your Venmo? I'll Venmo you money. Poor guy, playing Wonderwall again. And you go, oh, you start to pull up your phone for this, scan my QR code. And then they go, oh, they just called our number at Chili's, so our table's ready. And then you lost out to like an awesome blossom, all because you ordered a pedal. So that guy doesn't need it. But the rest of us, we do need it. See you next week.